Andy, we'll talk about two games because we haven't spoken about the 9-goal thriller against Kings Lynn. Let's go back, take a step back and talk about that game, which was a really exciting game for us. How do you think that went?
Yeah, I mean, for 80 minutes you went to plan. And then the last 10 minutes we sort of went off scale a little bit. But yeah, it was a good game. It was great for the supporters. And it was even for me, sitting in the dugout, it was a spectacular game to watch.
But the reason, well, first of all, we go back and we come back to why it went off a plan. The first half, I thought we gave them a bit of a football lesson, to be honest.
Yeah, we said in the changing rooms before the game, I was specific with the boys what I wanted. I wanted us to get back behind the ball, press in 2s and 3s and press high up the pitch, then we can play. Because we're most effective in the final 2/3 with our passing and the way we play quite quick football. So that was the key to them. Get high up the pitch, pressure them, nick it, and we're away. And to be fair, we were tagging them. Every time they were receiving the ball, we had a player tagging them. So their options were limited. They had to play back, play the way they was facing. They couldn't pick out.
And we
passes.
played at a higher tempo first half.
Oh, we did. We was with very high tempo, and it was great to see that the boys had that in their locker. You know, we've had a lot of games, and you worry about players becoming jaded and tired because they've had so many games. But no, Kingsley, they couldn't live with us. They couldn't live with the passing. Definitely not.
And then we come out, and we know how good young Dion is, and Jay scored a good goal. We won't go for the goals because Adam will probably show them something on his TV very soon, we hope. But we went into a 4-2 lead in the second half. It looked very comfortable, and we were comfortable up until probably 80 minutes where you wanted to give other players a run, so you made a few more changes.
Yeah, it's winning's nice, and don't get me wrong, I've got a will to win like nobody else, but it's about getting minutes in legs, and it's important that these young players get the minutes on, because we're going to need them come the start of the season, and if they're not fit and we've got injuries, then we're in all sorts of trouble. So I'm not blaming or an excuse for the fact that it went a bit wonky in the last 10 minutes. That had nothing really to do with I tell you what it had to do with. It had to do with the fact that we could smell more goals. And what we've done is we emptied our midfield. All 4 players across the midfield were getting caught beyond the ball because we were going for more goals. We rather than just see the game out, when I said to Sears, I pulled him to one side while the game was going on, I said that don't empty the midfield, stay nice and tight, get it compact, and we'll just see this out of 4-2. But the message didn't quite get across, and the boys, they just smelled a goal, and they just counter-attacking for fun.
Yeah, well, the result doesn't matter. I think the performance, within reason, was very encouraging. I know only too well that Gary Stetchell, their manager, he wants to win every game, and it's a bit of a special game, us and Kings Lynn. We're on good terms, obviously, now, and we always have been, to be honest with you. But Gary put his side out, and he put his side out, wanted to win, and he was known to say at half time that he rollocked his side up for a lack of desire first half. But it's a friendly.
Yeah, I don't think they had a lack of desire. I just think we didn't give them room to play. We smothered them. We pressed the ball all over the pitch. Searsy was magnificent again. He's snapping at heels, playing alongside Jay in there. 2 of them fighting for every ball. You had the wide players tucking in out of possession, making it hard to be played through. And then as soon as we got it, we sprung. Everything worked. It's probably the best game I've watched us play. The best 80 minutes I've seen us actually play.
Yeah, I thought it was very good as well. Now let's move on to today. We played a team from Ryman North, which is a division below us, but they are a good side, and they lost in the playoff finals last year to go up very unluckily 3-2, I think it was. So we come out today. I thought it was, I don't know, it was sort of a non-event lacklustre game.
It's
for some reason. I don't know.
The reason was Tuesday night. It's really hard after that performance and that much effort. It's really hard for you to pick yourself up and do it again a few days later. It's not even an excuse. It's just.
Well, there's no excuses needed. That's far from it. This is pre-season.
It's pre-season. The boys are tired. They've worked really, really hard, and today was about getting minutes in their legs again, and that was all it was.
I thought the first half we controlled the ball. We got a lot of passes in. I thought that was good. Players passing the ball. We didn't get forward that much with it, but we did. But got a lot of passes together, which gave us the ball. And I thought they were more than happy to be compact, tight, and contained.
Yeah,
for some reason.
The thing was, what we'd said to the back four to get a high line, and then once they received the ball to step in, first thought to go forward. They were stepping in, but there was no options on in front of them. The midfield was nice and tight and compact, so the two centre mids couldn't really create any space to go forward. The wide players, rather than stay wide and high, are tucked in as well. So when the full-backs or the centre halves have picked up the ball, they've looked. There's nothing on wide. It's too tight in the middle, so we started to go long again. So we was going long, and that's not our game.
Well, I think one of the reasons for that, and I'm me. I'm always trying to analyse games and watch games. I thought 4 of our players were, I thought Lewis, I thought Ash, I thought Joe, and I thought Jay. They're all very important for us in the positions you're just saying. 2 wide, 1 in the middle, and 1 up front. I thought they looked tired today.
They did look tired.
They were. I'm not going to say at the races. They weren't on their usual game, and that's very important for us, especially when you're saying we want to get the ball wide.
Well, I asked 2 of them if they'd been out late last night. That's the truth, just
of the ones I mentioned.
Yeah, just a general inquiry. I asked 2 of them if they'd been out last night. They both said no. It was just a really strange atmosphere in the game.
Yeah, it was slow. It's sloppy.
Yeah, it was very slow.
We got a good goal, a good headed goal with Gav. Out second half, I thought we were very, very sloppy and going for the motions, and I think then they picked up their game, and I thought they sort of getting it into the channels, long balls into the channels, which were making us stretch our legs a little bit. And of course Paul was carrying his groin anyway a little bit. He wasn't 100% fit.
No, yeah, I mean, Ash and Paul was only meant to play 45 minutes each. But we had to change that slightly with Gav being a bit concussed there. He'd been out for a couple of minutes on the pitch, so we had to keep Paul on. I think that the trouble for us was in that second half is we kept dropping. We kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
We played so deep, there's no room to play.
And it weren't just the back four that was dropping. The midfield were dropping, and even our centre forwards that were dropping too deep. Joe was playing deeper than he normally was. He said to me at half time, well, they're playing with a high line, and I said, but you've got to play on the shoulder of the last man, so at least when the ball comes up to you, you're 1v1, so it's got more chance to stick.
Yeah, Joe was a mile away from his forward partner, Dion.
Yeah,
he was. You could have given him a taxi ride to get back to him, couldn't you? He was that far away. They just weren't near each other. Dion was playing high, and Joe was coming back. I think it's maybe frustration that he was having an off day and wanted more of the ball. You know what he's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look at the team generally today, it wasn't the greatest day for them. And that's just being honest as a coach. It's something that once they cross that white line, it's really hard when the tempo's not there. You can't enforce it on them. You can't suddenly make them want to play at a higher tempo. So it's one of those. It's just pre-season game. We got out of it what we needed, which was minutes in the legs, and we move on.
Any pluses out of today?
A plus, obviously, Dion that worked really hard today.
I thought Sagey played well today, actually.
Yeah, he does well. He's a quick lad. He's coming at the last minute.
I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's been training.
No, but that'll come. Like I say, he only got the call last night, so he's coming. He's done a good job today. He'll be back again Monday. So it's another good acquisition.
Now we worked very hard this week to try and bring in a second goalkeeper, and we've got Nile already as a goalkeeper, but we do need two because he gets injured. We've had it. Iliad's in goal. So you and I will be trying to get this boy in. Open minds, I think. I think first game. I think he could have stopped the first goal. I thought, and I'm being critical as sometimes, but then I thought he made 4 point blank saves. He didn't look at how he's been playing.
No, I actually spoke to him after the game, and was quite open and honest with him, as I am with all the players. And I told him that we need a keeper with confidence. It's as simple as that. And if he wants anything at this club, he's got to show us a little bit more than that before we could make any decision on it.
Yeah. So what's going to happen there?
He's going to come back in Monday, but he'll come back in with. We've got another keeper coming in Monday as well. So we'll have a look at both of them, and we'll just make a decision after Monday.
Well, see what fits the bill, don't we?
Yeah.
But we've still got a little bit of time anyway. But we'll see how they go. Pa is back from holiday. Mexico, wherever he is, but he seems to be away a long time.
It feels like he's been away forever.
It does feel like he's been away forever. I'm getting lots of texts. I'm not getting many phone calls because I don't think it's allowed.
I think the texts are done on the quiet.
The texts is hard. When I text him back, I have to wait another hour for the text to come back again.
I've had a few of them as well.
So Dawn, if you're listening, he hasn't really texted us. We're only winding him up.
Much.
So anyway, okay. Look, little bit downbeat after. There's not a performance today after today's game. It was something we was looking forward to. Our last game at home, or the last game on this pitch, because we had to work on it again for 2 weeks before the Weymouth game. But Adam said something to me, about the game. I was trying to put together what the sort of game it was, and I think Adam made a good statement saying it was like a typical Southern League Premier game.
Yeah, it was, and I said
and that's
that to
what
the
they
boys.
were like.
Yeah, I said that to the boys. It was all long, trying to get us in behind, and it's what we have to put up with week in, week out.
Yeah.
We'll go some places and they'll try and play like Emil and St Albans, and they'll try and play a little bit, but generally that's going to be what we're up against.
So in hindsight, that wasn't such a bad workout, because we've seen that sort of dull way of football, and no disrespect to Aveley, but it was that style of football, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we didn't do too bad. We let one goal in, but where our, I'm going to say, weaknesses, where we knew we had to improve for this season, I think we're doing it, to be honest with you. Yeah. In defence.
Listen, the defence has been much improved so far pre-season. It's been much improved. I'm happy with Dan.
Dan's very good. He's getting better now. Yeah.
I'm happy with Gav in there, and obviously with Paul and Louis fighting for the right back position. We've had some bad news with Ed this week. He's decided that he's going to hang up his boots for a while. He's got some issues back at home with family and just generally in life.
Yeah, and we're going to speak to him, but we have to respect that.
Yeah.
But we still, when Pai gets back, we're going to try and get him up here, have a chat with him, and see if it's sort of a passing thing. But we do know he's got issues at home. But it's a real shame, because he's a great lad, a good player, good utility player, left back or left wing or centre forward at times, and he's been one of our real pluses over the last year, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Ed since he was 16 when we signed him at Peterborough, and I've always followed his career after he come out of Peterborough, St Albans and other places, Boreham Wood, but it's just one of them things. He's got stuff going on at home. He's a young lad. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and we've said to him that the door's always open for him to come back in, because I think he's got the potential to be the best left back in this league by far.
Yeah, I do as well, and but in saying that, also, we've still got young. And you and I, when we was talking about Ed yesterday, was getting pretty down on the issue, not because of Ed, but because of losing a very good footballer when we're nearly there. But we've still got young Geordie to come back into the squad.
Yeah, got young Geordie.
That. We shouldn't forget it, because you know what I think of him.
Yeah, it's Geordie's one of them that just flies under the radar, because he's such a good, willing kid. He just, it's a matter of fact. Oh, he's there. But it's because he's been back at home in Birmingham. He's not back down at Tresham College for a couple of weeks yet. So as soon as he's back down, he'll be back in with us, and he'll feature this season quite heavily.
Yeah, I think so. I like him. I've always said it since the first time I saw him at Hitchin. I just thought quality young footballer. So it's not been the greatest day for us, to be honest with you. But we'll learn again and we'll move along, and we'll be ready for Weymouth, won't we?
We'll be more than ready for Weymouth. We'll be more than ready for Weymouth. We've still got Ola to come back.
He should be back for the Wednesday game, because now, I don't know if it's going to go out or when it goes out. We've got the game on Monday away to Desborough.
Yeah.
And then we're also playing again on Wednesday away to Bedford United.
Yeah. And
for those who don't know, Bedford United is right next door to Bedford Town, 50 yards away from Bedford Town. If you don't know where it is, that's a nice pitch there.
Yeah, I mean,
and
Monday we'll be using some of the players that never got on today. Your Andy Palmers, your Woody that can only come on for a short period, and Sharman will start. I would have thought on Monday.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more tweaking to do, a little bit more pre-season work for some of the players to get under their belts. But we'll be more than ready. This one performance doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. It's pre-season, our pre-season coming to an end, and the action begins in a fortnight, so let's bring it on. Get Weymouth up here. A great game last year, we beat them 4-2 last year.
We'll beat them again this year.
Probably. I would like to think so, but they've improved. They're not a bad side, and don't forget, they're in non-league football. They've always been one of the top sides, haven't they? Clubs.
Yeah, I mean they've got a great tradition and a great history, so it'll be a great game, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I think it'll be open, so it'll be a great game this first season. If we don't have another recording before then, let's get a big crowd, because I'm sure they're going to bring 150, 200 people. Being the open game, I think they average 660, 700 at home, so they'll have a good away following, especially on the first game of the season. So if we can get our supporters there, please come up, support us the first game. Let's have a real razzle-dazzle of an opening game of the season, and look forward to seeing you all. Thanks.